be good though. Yeah, exactly. Right. That's why people love what we do. Is because we're just here for a good time. That's it. But this should be fun. Obviously, Hekko versus HAIKU now. These two, as you said, were in the top 8 of last time's IRONCLAD, if I'm not mistaken. So this should be fun to watch. I've not seen Hekko's Lars, but Lars is one of those characters you just don't see much anymore. So yeah, it should be good.
So I went on Hekko's stream whilst he was doing his top 8, and he's just talking to chat whilst he's playing. Like, he's just talking to chat. He's just having a good time. But we're going to be able to see what Hekko is capable of with that Lars. Nice knee from HAIKU. That's going to be a big damage. We're getting close to that other end, and we know for a fact that can lead to a really good extension with the wall breaking right there. But we're getting very close, and HAIKU going to find round number 1.
Yeah, it all came down to knowledge in that scenario. Again, one up forward 4 orbital attempt there from Hekko. Unfortunately, put him back a little bit too much there, and HAIKU was able to punish that very nicely. And again, it just comes down to really good character knowledge. Once you have an idea of essentially what punishes you want to go with, especially in Tekken of all games, that's it. The coin is basically flipped in your favor, and that's what you've got to be worried about here. Dynamic entry right through here from Hekko. Gets the side switch here too now. I was saying a little too much, but great punish there from him. And again, 85 damage already, but we're going to let the heat rip just in the case of HAIKU as well. Ton of grey health though for Hekko if he wants to make that back.
Yes, for sure. And he's got so much to work with. He's still got radar to work with. He's still got all the heat gauge to work with. So there's so much that he has more than HAIKU. And one thing you got to remember when it comes to Hekko is he did send Danny Sadiq 2 losers in the first round. So, you know, he's definitely got some real good skills nonetheless. Being one of the Akatsuki members, can he beat the second one today? We're going to find out in this game.
We'll find out. It's looking maybe like a TC wipe if he's able to really get it down and dirty, but we'll see now. And again, great lows here from both of these two players, kind of just testing each other out in this next round here to see which one of them is really blocking those weak points here. And again, HAIKU, brilliant stuff. Now we're going down below, momentum in his corner here. He's going to go pop the heat though, give him a little bit of that combo extension. Just going to try and chip away at a bit of his health, going for those flips, but the armor was more than enough. Dynamic entry, great punish once again here from Hekko, moving in very nicely now. Again, using the stomp, great Oki here, but it's not going to be enough as HAIKU pops the heat at the perfect time, but the flip was more than enough. We're going up and over as Hekko takes a round.
At the end of that game, that was stage 1 of a Mario level, because like the Goomba got stomped at the very end by Lars right there. Very nicely done, very good usage. You know, being able to sway in and out has been very nice to see from Hekko's side, especially. You know, we've seen very nice usage of dynamic entry and just been doing a lot with the ability to like use movement to their advantage, and it has just been incredibly nice. And we're going to see if they can keep the momentum up, because they could be taking a game off HAIKU if they can win this. But HAIKU obviously not one to let any round get to them. They are playing very well. Armor's going to get used, but the armor is going to get blocked, and I think they can maybe close this out with a lovely sweep to get the chip through.
Insane stuff here. And we're going to final round here. HAIKU being pushed to his limit. What we love to see, but the heat engage are going to give him a little bit of momentum going forward now, and a bit of damage boost as well here as we go to the corner, looking for that wall blast. Yes, he is. How does he respond, though? Is it going to ricochet nicely? It will, though, for HAIKU. But again, wasn't able to find a full combo of it. He just had to play a little bit slowly there, get what he possibly could. And once more, Hekko doesn't have an answer here. Slowly but gradually now is starting to build this up, and once more against the wall here. And Shiro, look at this now. He's starting to fight very scrappily, so Hekko's been able to get a ton of percentage in. And it's just all over the place.
Oh, that was a very scared situation for HAIKU. It looks like they were kind of getting a bit panicky right there. But one thing, Hekko's going to get it. But one thing I've noticed about Hekko's gameplay, doesn't really want to be using that heat gauge a lot. Hasn't actually used it, I think, once in this whole set, over there probably one round. But I think at the end there, it's a bit scrappy for sure. Sure, you know, I think HAIKU kind of like just went for the heat smash just to see what would happen in the end, and as a result, you know, Hekko managed to capitalize with a lovely sidestep, gets the grab and finds the round. And Hekko starting off really strong against the reigning champion currently.
Absolutely, couldn't have said it any better myself, and I fully agree with what you said there. He didn't feel the need to use the heat, probably because he really enjoyed playing that small Tekken. And I think you can see the way that Hekko just feels a lot more confident and comfortable playing that smaller Tekken, not opting for system mechanics or going for overbearing options. He does play a little bit slower than most players do, and I like that, though. That's good, because it gives your opponent a little bit of time, and yourself a little bit more time as well, to just kind of see what your opponent's going for, and you're not putting yourself in a situation where you're guaranteed to be punished. Hekko was playing very nicely, very methodically, especially in that last round, and after HAIKU popped that wild heat smash, it was all to play for there. And Hekko, again, instead of, putting himself in a situation where he overexerted way too much pressure and then would get punished, ended up playing small Tekken, safe Tekken, and it ended up winning him the game. So we'll see whether or not that's going to happen again as HAIKU sticks to the lead. No character swaps. We're not seeing that Kazuya come out. We're not seeing any other characters come out here tonight, as we are seeing that HAIKU is sticking with that lead. But again, as we already make it through to the second round here, Hekko has had an absolutely insane start.
And just like the background of the stage, Hekko is on fire currently. This stage is going to be very interesting, especially if we go down to the lower levels. That's where, a lot of the, it's going to be a lot more difficult a lot less wall usage is going to be used by HAIKU. Responding so nicely, by the way, to that last round. Very showing that, like, they're still 100% in this game for sure. But I think Hekko is just playing so well. They're kind of just, like, manipulating the space the most.
Yes.
And just being able to do so much with it.
That's the best way to put it. Genuinely the best way to put it. Manipulating that space and is making such good use of it as well. Being able to set himself up for some great punishes here and really starting to chip away at this health as well here. But you can really see a sort of shift in mentality between both of these players, right? One of them will be up around. Momentum will then shift into another place. And again, it just kind of swings back and forth like a pendulum. But you have to have really good mentality to really be able to shift that back into your favor. And HAIKU's been showing a lot of that as of late here. And again, gets the low, looking for the counter there from the top. But again, no one was home as Hekko is now going to take that round with a little bit of style, a stomp on the foot, and a little bit of lightning to boot. Now, what's interesting about this particular part of the stage is all those floor blasts. You want to try and basically use those to your advantage here, and we'll see whether or not either one of these players are really going to be able to use those down forward too, though, however, from HAIKU to start us off with the combo train.
Exactly, and one thing you got to consider, like we just saw there, is with the floor blast, this stage is a lot bigger than the other ones, from my understanding, right? The walls are a lot further away, which means we're not probably going to see that many wall bounce combos, which is going to be quite problematic for HAIKU. But saying that, I'm just going to eat my words because they've just done an incredible combo to the wall and takes the round.
Oh, yes. Back and forth, we love to see it. Final round scenario here from both of these two. Yeah, so it isn't set point. Remember, it is first to 3 now. We're in that best of 5 scenario here now, as we are in that top 8 winners semis of Jalta League. Ironclad 5 and HAIKU right now. As I said before, it's that shift in mentality. It's that shift in momentum. And he's really starting to make it work. Mixing it up with these highs, with these lows. Really keeping Hekko guessing. He knows he likes playing that small Tekken. And it's not going to be enough, Shira. Look at that. As we've seen once again HAIKU with 7 golden letters to his name.
He's going to the Olympics again, Ashura. He's going to the Olympics with them 7 golden letters. Is very nice to see. Well,
collecting all those golds.
Honestly, gonna do something that the UK can never do. But saying that, one thing, so true, it's so sad. But saying that, I think one thing that it's be your best of 5 now. So first to 3 wins, first to 3. But one thing that I think HAIKU started doing there is they, like, even though the Tekken has a lot of moves, like every character has like a kind of like a set amount of moves that are gonna be like really good, right? And I think because Hekko isn't really utilizing the heat and any at all, HAIKU doesn't really have to worry right now about the fact that he's not using any of the heat, which means as a result, the amount of like mental stack that he has to experience when it comes to thinking about what Hekko is going to do is a lot less. Like in that game, we didn't really see much of dynamic entry being used, and like compared to the game number 1, so obviously Hekko's still trying to change it up, but not really utilizing any of the heat has been very interesting. But we are going to be going to Genmaji Temple. This is quite a smaller stage compared to some of the other stages. It's going to be just focusing on the wall bounces, and I think from what we've been seeing recently, I think HAIKU can utilize these wall bounces a bit more than Hekko, but it's a very close game nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how that comes into play now. We are seeing the Lee, the Lars, once again, as they start to dancing. We're going to Genmaji Temple, which, for those of you that don't know, is quite literally just arena reskinned into this this more Mishima-style stage here. And it is very nice to play on. Again, it is very, fair in terms of the distance as well, but a lot of sidewalls to deal with here. A lot of stance mix-ups here from Lars, though, as Hekko keeps HAIKU guessing, gets the punish, and again, it's just all about pressure and momentum here, and these two have been going back and forth like a pendulum swinging.
Honestly, their stances there was so good. Baiting HAIKU to throw out move right now was very nice. But here comes a little combo starting out. We are going to see that his energy heat is going to be able to do a lot. It's going to get Hekko close to the wall. Hekko actually does get the drop kick off and manages to find the ground. I don't think HAIKU was expecting that one.
No, I don't think so either. Doesn't look like it at all, and the way that he's been playing now has had to keep HAIKU guessing. Now he's got to think a little bit more. Now he's got to be like, okay, how do I get around this brand new mix-up? How do I get around this brand new situation that I put myself in here? Hekko definitely giving him a lot of questions that he needs answers to here, and once again, pulling the trigger now is HAIKU. He's seeing his shot. It's time to take it, my son. Go forward as he gets the tornado into the wall here. Once again, Hekko now needs an answer. Kip up here, 3+4. Wasn't going to be enough, though, however, as he's trying to find some form of momentum. Gets the low, slowly and gradually playing this slow Tekken, this small Tekken. And we love to see this. This is what we love to see.
And it's very nicely done. Hekko is playing so well. Spacing being used, armor is going to be used. Just doing so much. And, like, the patience from Hekko has been incredible. 16 seconds left.
Yes.
Sliding once again into HAIKU's DMs. And Hekko is not moving on, but is in set point.
Set point for Hekko, but what a dominant game, right? Very dominant game. He didn't give HAIKU much of an opportunity to breathe, and even when he didn't let it, like, become such an annoying thing to him, right? It wasn't such a problem to him. He was able to reset himself very nicely, was able to collect himself very nicely, and then again, just capitalize off of any punishes that he could possibly get in that scenario, and again, really working that Lee very nicely, putting HAIKU in very uncomfortable situations where he's got to be like, okay, now how can I think about this? How can I really make myself work? How can I really break through towards Hekko? But again, he's just not giving him the answers to the questions that he keeps on asking. The question now is, though, however, can HAIKU switch to Heihachi Mishima be enough to really switch things around here? Let's find out.
Yeah, we're going to have to find out the Heihachi change. It's going to be interesting. We haven't actually got to experience his Heihachi on the Joust League before, so we don't know what it's going to be like. But we've had some Heihachi players in the past, and one of them actually winning the first ever IRONCLAD tournament. And, you know, Heihachi's a menace, especially this version of Heihachi. He's just got a lot of really good options. But I think, going back to that last game for 1 second, one thing that we didn't really see much of was I don't think the wall was used actually that much throughout that last set. They were like dancing around it, but it wasn't like crazy enough to where like it was actually prevalent. But the wall was definitely going to be used in this one. You know, Fortnite Destiny, a very well-known stage in the Tekken 8, and Hekko starting out so strong. Once again, these stands mix-ups have been beautiful.
Yeah, it comes down to just momentum as well. Let's not forget, Hekko has been on fire as of late. But again, HAIKU, known for that Heihachi, knows exactly how this character works. They're going for these electrics. Yeah. It's a perfection nonetheless. Yeah, he's got those on lock. He's very good with Mishima characters. So it's really nice to see him kind of reach into that pocket.
Exactly, but we're going to see how this Heihachi plays. You know, Heihachi's got to be able to get like some like slots in, you know, to build up his momentum and get a bit stronger and more to King of the Iron Fist. But we do actually see Hekko's actually enter feet, just saying.
Yeah. Hekko's definitely gone for that heat now. Ooh, it's too close to call. It really is. Like, between both of them here, this is one of those ones where now Hekko literally set point, literally 1 away from causing an upset potentially here. As HAIKU, the winner of the last Ironclad, might go out here, might go down into that losers really early on. Hekko showing nothing but absolute ruthlessness back against the wall here. HAIKU's got to find something soon, got to pop heat, any sort of answer here. And once again, Hekko is just keeping him guessing. All that momentum for what? Could it be for something here? And again, now going for that down forward 2 here was HAIKU, but we're going for a flip, and that's all she wrote as Hekko moves on into winners finals. HAIKU has been seen in the losers bracket.
And it is thunderous.